hi people, coffee. And why coffee? Because I just couldn't go to sleep before I did finish this one. I mean, this book, it's amazing. I mean, I have read all the books that Melanie Golding has written. This is the third one, and I have to say that honestly, what I love about her and her books, it's that she writes spooky, eerie books, but each one reads differently. I mean, you got the feeling that you're reading a different author, different kinds of books. Sometimes when an author writes books in spooky situations or settings, it feels like you're reading the same. But with her, every book it's different, and every book has different vibes. And I have to say, honestly, I didn't know what I was getting into with this one because I had read very little before buying it, because for me, she's an out-to-boy author. So I knew like a couple of things about this book, the cover, and yeah. So I do love that the book happens in a carnival circus kind of theme, because I love those. Also for me, this book didn't felt as creepy and as eerie as other of her books. And I say that for me, because when I was reading it, we have our main character, we have a girl called Faith, and when she looks into your eyes, she can see how you die. And she can guess more or less, judging by your appearance, how old you are, and and her family, not her mom and her auntie, but other members of her family kind of shun her because they think it's bad luck. And there is another member of her family, now dead, that she was called witchy, and they kind of shun her, didn't want her to be around. And the story is repeating itself with her. But for me, the way the book it's written, for me, it felt like it was normal that she had this ability. It's written in a way that you believe that this girl is having this ability, this curse. For me, she was like a character, a person, a real person. She was alive. I mean, yeah, it was like seeing a movie or seeing the life of someone through a window. And I believed that she had this ability of seeing when another person was going to die. And I do love many things about this book. I mean, she has a best friend called Betsy, and I got everything right. Yeah. And I think that if you pay close attention to what you're reading, you are able to guess the main twist of the plot. Because I think that the author wants you to know and to keep you like second guessing everything. So I'm very happy to say that, yeah, I got it. And for me, it's not as important to know how it ends, but the journey to get there. We have this character, Faith. She's dealing with a lot of things. There was never a father in the picture. She had a brother, and you are going to learn very soon, very early in the book, that the brother is dead, and she's carrying that in her conscience, sort of. And also she has a mother who's terminally ill. So she's dealing with all of this, plus she wants her place in the circus, and she has a friend there, and something happens, and she has to use her ability, the sight, and then everyone begins to think that she's bad luck and want her taken away from the circus. So she wants to keep her place because she feels like the family that she has in the circus is kind of her real family, and she wants to hold her own, and also she wants to take care of her mom, and she is dealing with her ability, because one of the things that this book centers about is what does this ability does to her. She is able to see when someone is going to die, but how does it affect her relationship with other people? How does it affect her mindset? How does it affect the relationship she has with other people when other people learn about her ability and don't want her around because they're afraid of her having abilities, of being able to do like bad juju and things like that. And I think that the main character, it's written very flawlessly. And I love when you keep on reading and you begin guessing things and you begin, falling into the plot. You realize that she's not a saint. She's a person who's dealing with a lot of things, with trauma, and yeah, I love her certain things in this book which I cannot talk about because it will be spoilery. I love how they're treated and how they are dealt with and how it affects her, and you can understand when you finish the book looking back at the journey that she has taken and how seeing her brother die and her having seen her brother die before in a dream, how it affects her and how she carries this guilt that maybe she could have done something. And it's this journey that she does about accepting that maybe things are not as inamovable, I don't know if that's even a word, as she feels them to be. And yeah, I mean, the narrative in this book, the way in which the story is told, for me is flawlessly. I mean, you keep on reading, you cannot put it down. The chapters are kind of short, but they always end with a note that you want to keep on reading. You really need to know what's going to happen. It's very centered in our main character, Faith. We are going to have some captures by Betsy, who's another very important, prominent character. And I do love that we have like these two timelines now, which is written in the in first person, and we have then, because the past, the things that happened in the past that made Faith be the person that she is today, that's written in a third person. And I love how the story moves from these two timelines and these two point of views. And I mean, I cannot say much about it, about the story, about the plot, because it will be writing the book for you. But if you like circus settings, you're going to love this one, because we are following this carnival that's going to be moving through different places and setting up, and then, you know, and how the actual world is affecting them, how people are deciding to go to the cinema and other places, and how it's affect these families that are making a lively hot in this traveling circus. And we are going to see, it's a very, for me, it was, there were some parts of this book that's quite, they were quite hard for me, because it deals with death, how it affects the people who's dying, and how it affects the people who are around the person who's dying, and how certain things can affect you and you carry them through your life. So it has like kind of everything, and also has this spooky feeling about this sight, this ability that Faith has, and how she's going to use it or not use it. And there are moments in which she does something when she's a kid, and it's very like, what? I mean, you suffer for her and you understand where she's going with the things that she's doing. I mean, for me, this book is amazing. I just couldn't put it down. I loved everything. I love the characters in the book. I love the story told. I love knowing about this main character who tries to do everything right, and you realize towards the end that maybe she was struggling. Yeah, I mean, and the ending leaves you like, what? Yeah, I mean, as I say, if you pay close attention and see all the little clues that the author is leaving for you to guess at the things that she was writing. Yeah, Melanie Golding, it's for me like an Alphabet author, and yeah, she's amazing. I loved I have loved the 3 books that she has written so far, and I cannot wait to see what she writes next. So thank you for watching. Bye.